What's a recession indicator that you've noticed lately in your everyday life? When you're driving home, feeling like you're really bad with money lately, but in reality, you just bought groceries for the week, again. Canceling streaming services and going back sailing the 7 seas. I've noticed way more people cutting back on eating out and bringing food from home. When even the treat yourself aisle starts feeling like a luxury. Most of the posts on my local subreddit are people looking for work or talking about how hard it is to find a job. I buy less meat. Not because I want to eat less meat, but because my wallet cries whenever I do buy it. The vast number of individuals bringing up a full revolution as a part of small talk. Literally took 5 sentences of small talk before the guy at the gas station said, "It feels like we're gonna just burn it all down soon." Frequency of people walking or riding a bicycle along the highway. While driving to and from work, I'm actually noticing a lot of older, smaller vehicles being driven and more with unrepaired damage. Definitely seeing more places cutting back on hours or reducing staff. Kinda feels like everyone's trying to save a buck right now. I don't buy things for the principle of it, because I remember the previous price. I remember the previous price because it's made multiple 20 to 30 cent jumps in the last year alone. I'm an insurance broker. We work to help find families best terms on various types of personal insurance. Requests to insure luxury or recreational items like newly purchased cabins, boats, and motorcycles has essentially completely stopped. The amount of people working out at the gym during the day has gone up a lot. My source is that I'm unemployed and spend a lot of my time at the gym. Lots of abandoned pets. More stray cats around. Cost of living becoming ridiculous. Job listings being numerous but no one being able to find work. Small, local passion businesses that started post-COVID collapsing everywhere. Everyone is just exhausted and feels like all the efforts they've made have been pointless and just barely kept their head above water. CEOs complaining about no one buying anything without seeing the clear contradiction of them all min-maxing cost cutting as a business culture and no one having disposable income because they're all out of work or just barely making a paycheck to paycheck. We seem to see it every 10 years or so. Rotisserie chicken always out. Sad face. Higher grass. People waiting longer between mowing their yard. I woke up this morning and haven't had a happy thought yet. It's bank holiday and I just don't feel like I can afford to enjoy as I normally would, pub and a few games of pool. The thought of spending $50 on fun when prices keep rising makes me feel terrible. Jones Fabric never came back. Spirit Airlines shut down in the middle of the night. There was no justice for good or pretty. Concerts not selling out like they used to. There's a lot of tours being cancelled right now. Prezzo del carburante troppo alto e lo mio stipendio sulla mia busta paga che continua a rimini uguarli negli anni. I've started cutting random small expenses. The bag of chips is 80 air. The air is now 20 smaller. And costs 1 more. My salary is the same. The bag is now a single chip held together by vibes. Most jobs offer same-day pay scam services to their employees because it's just accepted that you are going to constantly be in financial stress. Me, I've cut out clothing shopping almost entirely. Used to love surfing eBay and going to my local fancy thrift stores. Couldn't tell you the last clothing item I bought now. Come over for a drink replacing a let's go out for 1E in my friend group. Nobody says it's about money. Everybody knows. Way more people lining up at the food banks. I started walking to work at the hospital just before the fuel crisis became a thing. I live in the region, so doing that was kind of an anomaly. I never saw anyone else walking on my way to work. After the fuel crisis, I gradually saw more and more people walking to work. The self-centered part of me likes to think I started a trend though, who knows. I'm sitting in the dark or really low light a lot more lately. The 100 posts a day on Ask Reddit regarding the recession. Restaurants being basically empty outside of limited peak times. Saturday at 7:30 basically. The transatlantic flight I'm on right now is half empty. I booked it with points several months ago. Trying to enjoy it because with the fuel surge, I won't be on a plane again for a while. Related, probably finally cancelling my travel Amex because the annual fee is no longer worth it if I cannot afford to travel. Which one? No one can afford to survive with working full-time at minimum wage. Even $10 above minute wage of 40-hour a week is not enough to survive easily. No one I know can afford to buy a home or insure it properly without borrowing massive amounts at huge interest rates. Our food is poisoned and fake or else too expensive to afford unless you are very wealthy. Soil is poisoned, seeds are tainted and often illegal, or impossible to grow. Everything is rising in price with no end in sight because our government is making it impossible to get raw material from other places. On and on. Republican-run administrations. Girls using press-on nails instead of getting manicures from the salon. Billboards are wildly out of date on major interstates near tourist destinations. Some still up for Christmas events, Halloween, and other events several months past. Meaning no business has paid to replace the advertisements recently. Not even generic law firms or fast food chains that often buy space available billboards at a discount. We rationed food all weekend to pay for gas. Me. I am the recession indicator. I genuinely can't remember the last time I bought beef when buying groceries. And that's all beef, steaks, chuck, London broil, ground beef. The price has been astronomical. I switched to ground turkey since somehow that's been on sale way more often, but I'm starting to look into more vegetarian meals to supplement. Groceries in general have been expensive, but after seeing how much beef itself has gone up, it's feeling like a luxury I can't afford. Nobody is filling their gas tanks anymore. Whenever you get to a pump, the previous total is usually an even number 15-20 instead of 64.98 or 72.45. Constant posts about recession indicators on question-asking subreddits. My local movie theater looks like a ghost town. People stopped going to the movies. True, people stream everything, but tickets are insanely expensive and I have stopped going entirely. Constant whining by talking heads about declining birth rates. Increase of free food coupons. My apps are incentivizing me with a free burger if I spend 10, but I still won't go. The great value downgrade. The store's premium brand now has the quality the budget brand had 5 years ago. The budget brand is now just loosely packed sadness. Those really expensive drops of sneakers are not selling out. The line at Costco gas is wrapped around and sometimes blocking a large intersection. I haven't seen that in years. Fast food places not having lines at lunchtime, except In-N-Out, but they also don't charge the same prices as McDonald's. Lines at Aldi grocery outlet like never before.